frustrations of trying to film wildlife. You can't always get to where it is. Heard hippos fighting in the river this morning. Came in, saw them through the reeds, tried to get a different view or a different angle. And this happened. So that's the vehicle firmly beached up on a little rise. So we need to get the jack to get ourselves off. Fortunately we don't have the jack because we left that at home. We were changing a tyre yesterday. I say we, me. And now we can hear the hippos fighting, but we're stuck here. So we gotta wait for help. Ah, frustrations. Salvation is at hand.
What happened, Jamon?
I don't want to talk about it.
Let's do it. Winner! Big fault, baby! Stand by there, stand by the road.
It's a mildly embarrassing way to start the weekend, or to end the weekend.
It's quite entertaining when you watch somebody else get stuck. Coming from experience, it's always good fun, but when someone else gets a pink pouch, it's even better.
Well, I say things happen for a reason, and whether you believe that or not is not the point, but the fact is I got stuck, so I took a route I wouldn't have taken otherwise and bumped into a leopard, the Shimungwe young male. So he's looking fairly relaxed in the morning sun, and he's at that age where he's still waiting for his mother to call him to kills. But I think she's becoming less and less inclined to do so. The last time we saw them together was a few days ago, not far from here, only about 100 meters that way, and she was apparently snarling quite aggressively at him, just kind of discouraging. I'll call it dependence. Okay, he's up now. Let's see where he moves. There's a beautiful fallen tree trunk running down from the termite mound he's on, and that's going to be the money shot from this morning if he descends down that. He probably won't. It's easier to just walk back over the mound. But let's see what happens. Beautiful evening in the bush, and we found the Nanga female, which is a leopard that used to be very prominent in the central parts of North Londolozi, but we don't see her much anymore. She shifted territory further east and ceded a big chunk of territory to her daughter, the Makamsava female. She's moving through a fairly thick area at the moment, so there's a lot of hacking through bushes. I was about to lose sight of her. Big log, gotta go around. Okay, she's seen a couple of impala rams up ahead. They haven't seen her, but they're just looking. They heard her scent marking and moving around in the bush before she knew they were there. So they've just moved off a little bit. So I think she's just paused, just assessing. Don't think she's going to get lucky in here, although it's a very thick block, so she just has to wait till darkness. And it's going to be very dark. It's new moon at the moment, so hunting conditions are going to be good tonight. Best news here is that the wound that she had a couple of months ago has healed almost completely. I couldn't see any sign of it now. I had a close look, I tried to have a close look, but it's pretty thick in here. It's hard to get a good view, but it does look like she is 100%. She's not limping, and she looks to be pregnant. It might be a bit early to tell, but when a leopard's full after a meal, its belly sits kind of back. When a female's pregnant, she looks full, but the belly's sitting forward. So we'll stick with her while we can, but it's fairly tough going in here. It's a lot of crashing around through bushes, and the longer we stay with her, the more we're going to impact her hunt, and we don't want to do that. So the light's going anyway, so we might just leave her to it in a few minutes. So she's been marking pretty much every second tree she goes past. Occasionally doing the phlegm and grimace when she bares her teeth. That's using a special organ called the Jacobson's organ to analyze pheromones on the urine of another leopard that would have passed by there and scent marked. And if she is pregnant, this is fairly typical behavior of a female. What they'll do before they give birth is they just very actively mark territory just to make sure that that area is established as theirs, and rival females will hopefully stay out. Here she comes. I think this is going to be where we part ways. It's going to be pretty tough following where she's going. All we're going to be doing is crashing through bushes and making a noise and disturbing her and whatever else might be up ahead for her to hunt. But a sighting like this, although it's tricky visually, it's just fantastic knowing that she's alive and well, because last time we saw her she looked like she had a bad injury, but it's nice to just kind of check in on various individuals from time to time. I mean, by pure chance, we just bumped into her on the road.
It's late evening now, and I'm on the banks of the Sand River. Spent the afternoon with the Shumungwe female and her young cub. It's quite strange calling him a cub because he really has grown quite big. There were impalas alarm calling very close to camp, and as I went to go and investigate, my back left tire sunk straight into a hole in the ground. It was a very frustrating start to the afternoon, but it turned out brilliantly in the end. And I first thought it was a mating pair, just going back to how big this young male is looking already. But as I got close, I realized it was the two of them. And it was interesting to watch. Not too many playful antics as we've seen in the past. As they moved along, she growled at him a little bit. He was his playful self, investigating any... Oh, I can hear him calling in the background. Two of them walked down into the river. I tried to follow, but it got very, very steep and tricky. The two of them looked as though they'd separated at that stage. I think he's pretty much independent, but just likes to go back for the odd visit every now and then. He's pushing his luck. He's testing his mother's patience at this stage. It's not going to be long now until he is forced to disperse completely out of the area by the other dominant males. Hopefully for us, he stays around a little bit long, because he really is quite a lot of fun to watch.
So this afternoon we are sadly closing what has been a beautiful chapter in an otherwise fairly turbulent year. I'm standing at the wild dog den, or at least the latest wild dog den on Londolozi, and it is no longer active. The wild dogs have moved off. Last we heard they had moved to a new den on Mala Mala, and I think all pups were alive and well. And this is what they do. After 3-month denning period, towards the end, they start moving a little bit more and a little bit more, new dens a little bit more regularly. And eventually, when the pups are at an age where they can start keeping up with the adults, off they go, and the pack resumes their kind of nomadic lifestyle through their extensive home range. So a really special 2 months having them here, and you know, thanks to everyone for all your continued interest in them and investment, just like we were. You know, obviously it's quite a special thing seeing these little ones grow up. But they have now moved off, as they were always going to do someday. That day has come. I'm sure over the coming months and weeks we'll see them pop up from time to time, hopefully with a full complement of 9 pups still in tow. But for now it's just a memory. But yeah, what an incredible couple of months it's been. Right, it's been quite a leopard week. From 2 weeks ago we couldn't find any for a few days. Now suddenly they're dropping out of the skies. This morning we found the Mashaba female, our oldest territorial female. We saw her pregnant a couple of weeks ago. Now from the looks of her, she's given birth. So we're going to stick with her in the hope that she takes us to her den. This could be quite a morning. And she's hunting some impala in the thickets here. Okay, this is the tricky bit now. She slunk off behind some bushes. We've lost sight of her. We can't see the impala either. They were close last time we saw them. Okay, the hunt was spoiled somewhat by the arrival of 2 hyenas. And then it's just not in her interest to try and kill something, because as soon as she gets it, the hyenas would rob her. So it's kind of pointless. Now the hyenas have wandered off. We've been here for 2.5 hours and she's just sitting with this one herd of impala. So if you're ever in the bush and you think, oh no, there's nothing here, these impala are all relaxed, not necessarily true, because there could be a leopard lying in wait just like this.